Hey guys, First Bill Comic Book University, and okay, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode 4, Life Earned. Alright, so we see Daisy and that other Inhuman dude, the telepath guy. I don't remember if they said his name or not. Don't really care. For right now, not that important. We'll see. We'll see what's up. Still no, oh, what the frick is his name? Flint. Still no Flint. We just saw that one quick little image of Flint. He's like, oh, hey, okay, I'll leave. It's like, dude, come back. Anyway, so we got this telepath dude who, telepathy kind of works both ways. So they're trying to indicate, oh, he can read minds. I'm like, all right, cool. So he can, of course, cast his thoughts also, right? Yes, he can. But, I'm so steeped in the comic books. It's like a given, that it goes both ways. So, it turns out that he can return thoughts also, or send out thoughts, telecast them. So that worked out really well in his favor because, let me move this over a little bit, because he was able to hold that conversation in his mind and kind of let Gemma listen also. Because I was thinking to myself, like, oh, she's just going to lip read, right? I'm sure she can lip read. She's really smart. She can read lips. You're standing in front of her. That's not cool. So that was cool that, he just opened his thoughts and allowed her to, I thought that was a little bit too close on the nose, like verbatim, word for word. She just repeated what Daisy had said. No, mix it up a little bit, man. Have some fun with it. Anyway, that worked out. I like that. And I'm actually wondering what else this cat can do because just playing role-playing games and reading the heck out of comic books, there's a way to do like a psychic scream and just, scream into somebody's mind and just paralyze them with pain. Just imagine a brain pain direct that no aspirin's going to fix. Also the idea of making someone ignore you, making a room of people ignore you. So you essentially have what's considered mental invisibility. I'm just saying, that could really come in handy, right? So all sorts of cool things with this episode. This one guy, I love telepaths. And telepaths in the Marvel Universe are usually mutants. So seeing an Inhuman one, it's helpful. I know Maximus in the actual comic books has, the Inhuman Maximus has telepathy, but he's more mind control very specifically. His telepathy and other things like that are very minor, very, very played down. It's his mind control that's the main thing, and his genius, of course. What do you call it? And Swain, she has like emotion control. But anyway, so what else happened in here? And seeing him being able to be that like little precog issue was actually pretty cool also with the fighting. That was cool. I dug that. So the one dude, what was that one dude? Grill. I didn't write his name down. Fortunately, I just remembered it. But Grill goes and sends Mac, after shocking him, sends Mac and Yo-Yo up to the 35th floor, or somewhere close to the 35th floor, whatever, so that he could try and grab that one dude who was making a baby, basically. Well, he wasn't in the process. So that's freaky. Like, what a way to control people, right? Maybe it's in the food, that now humans can't reproduce anymore. They're grown instead because they're trying to increase the chance of getting Inhumans so they can put them in the pits and whatnot. Messed up. And it's like all of them think that there's some kind of chance. That's the most messed up thing, is messing with Hope. And we'll get to Hope the kid in a little bit, but messing with Hope with people is just the worst. It's the worst. So what do you call it? They kept on doing this one thing where they're saying, yeah, if you have an Inhuman kid, that's awesome, because then if that kid fights for us in the gladiator pits and proves him or herself worthy, awesome, we'll take care of you guys forever. Yeah, give them a little bit of, money and whatnot, help them out a little bit, but in the end, Cassius, that main Inhuman dude, he's planning on killing everybody once he has Quake now. Once he's sure, and he sells Quake for a ridiculously high price, he's going to try and get the heck out of there, and he's just going to erase the past, meaning kill every single human on there, destroy all evidence of everything. So taking care of people for the rest of their lives doesn't really work out in that regard, does it? So, and meanwhile, these guys are still stuck all fighting in pits someplace. What lives, man? So this dude, he and his girl, they're allowed for some reason to, I guess that makes sense. That debt that he borrowed from Grill was so that he and his girl could have a baby. Wow. Freaking messing with people's hope. So anyway, he's like, I'm going to pay the dude back, relax, chill out, whatever. And they're talking about, hey, you're going to tell, Grill goes and tells Mac, tell him that we'll throw, we'll crush the package. Mac doesn't know what the package is. The package is the baby. So he goes up and he's trying to, be like, it's funny. He goes to Yo-Yo, is like, hey, I need you to make sure you calm down. This is that whole control thing, Uh, I need you to calm down. We don't need to be losing ourselves out here. And she's like, I'm not going to lose myself. Why would I lose myself? We just got to do what needs to be done. Yeah, well, you killed that other dude. Mac, tell me exactly what was your plan if she didn't step up. You were going to be killed. Everybody was going to be killed except for Yo-Yo. And Yo-Yo instead took the initiative and stepped forward and let the bad guy be killed instead of... And it's not on her that the guy was killed. The guy could have just said, okay, that's 1 gig against you. You owe me another 35 years. You know what I'm saying? For having this weapon on you. This was in the previous episode. She's not a telepath. She's a speedster. That's Yo-Yo's power. So blaming her, what a way to blame someone. And for your own mistake. If you weren't sitting there being such a smartass the entire time and actually trying to frickin' help people out, gee, maybe, just maybe, something better could have happened out of this. You could, if you would have kept watch. I mean, let's be realistic. He's not exactly the most tech savvy. I shouldn't say that. He's not the most computer savvy. He's very tech savvy. He's an engineer. But, glorified mechanic, basically. But you're not computer savvy. You're not good with this ham radio thing. You don't know it. So you could have made yourself useful. You weren't piloting. Be a freaking lookout. How about you do that? No, instead he just wants to screw around and crack wise. You know what I'm saying? All right, brilliant. Now that other dude came in the previous episode, and this was just a little thing, but now him turning around and acting like this, it's like, you get off your high horse, dude. Just because you're big don't mean you can't get knocked down. Freaking moron. And what happened? He wound up knocking himself down. He got beaten up by words. And that's the problem. Yo-Yo is emotionally stable. Yes, she has her moments. Everybody has their moments, where they're going to break down a little bit. But Mac is a giant-sized glass house. Dude needs to take a chill pill. He needs to stop getting all preachy, shut up, and actually witness and learn. And that's the thing about it. Love his character. When he's on, he's on. He's great. He's good for the comedic aspect and whatnot. But at the same time, dude, stop giving advice, So he keeps saying, I need to make sure you're not going to lose yourself. Why would I lose myself? She says, Yo-Yo says. So what happens? They go in there and she's just basic. Think about how that worked out. She just simply gets with the threats. Hey, listen, we're not joking around. She keeps it very general. You need to pay back because Grill says you need to pay back. Otherwise, my friend, you're not going to, I can't be sure what he's going to do. So he comes up and the guy's just like, okay, relax. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Tell Grill I'm going to too much chocolate milk. Tell Grill that he's going to get his pay. All right? Just relax. Why couldn't that have been enough? Why couldn't that have been enough? So instead, Mac's going to get there. Listen, you just need to do this. Otherwise, your shipment is going to be thrown in the garbage. And of course, this guy thinks that Mac knows what he's talking about. Mac doesn't know what he's talking about. That's the big mistake. Don't assume that Mac knows what he's talking about. Mac needs to sit on the side with a shotgun axe and take a chill pill, So Mac is sitting there, we're going to throw the package in the garbage chute, man. And the guy's like, who threatens a kid? Who threatens a kid? And Mac's like, wait, what? And the stuff all falls down, his shipment package, all the stuff he was getting, and you see all the baby, the stuffed animal, the stuffed teddy bear. You see the little ear, that little brown, blue thing with the long pin. That's to put up the kid's nose, and whenever they got mucus and snot, because kids don't know how to blow their nose. If you don't have kids, there you go. If you do, you know what I'm talking about. But there's just all this baby stuff in there. He's like, oh, I don't get it. But this guy's already pissed. He's already in the red. He's already being threatened, and now his kid is being threatened. He doesn't realize that he doesn't know this stuff. It's just like, man, you know what? I hope you never get the chance to have a kid because you don't deserve it. You're not worthy. Lucky or unlucky him, he wound up hitting on the exact nerve. Like I said, glass house, man. People in glass houses shouldn't be throwing stones. So, what do you call it? It's duh. Wake up, dude. Duh. So he gets pissed off, and what does he do? He starts beating the holy hell out of this dude. What did we talk about? Not losing ourselves now? This is the problem. It's one thing to have a high IQ, but the EQ is equally as important. Equally as important. You know what I'm saying? Having a high intellectual quotient, being really smart, being able to recognize patterns, being a genius basically is one thing. But being emotionally stable is something else entirely. And oftentimes that's looked at better than being smart. Hey, if you're really smart, get in the pits and start building me something. But if you're really emotionally stable, maybe you could be a manager. Which one is more important to society? Technically, they're both. So it just seems to me like Yo-Yo has everything. Mac has pretty much nothing. You know, so what does Mac really have that's actually an asset to the team? Maybe it's better that he just leaves. Whatever. It's just a shame. You know what I'm saying? Aside from cracking wise once in a while and punching people in the face, which all of them seem to be really good at, every single one of them. I don't disagree with you, and you're in my face and challenging. Like this is the thing that's kind of killing me about Agents of Shield. This season especially, but I'm reminded that this seems to be going back more and more. And I get it that it's getting grittier, but every single one of the Agents of Shield, you know, what I'm saying aside from Fitz and Simmons, and I'm going to get to Fitz in a minute. With these guys, if you get in their face and try to talk reason to them, they're going to hit you. Probably in the face, but it could be anywhere. If it's Quake, she might quake you. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, this isn't the kind of stuff that I want to watch. This isn't, and I get it. The whole season, for the most part, is probably finished by now. So we're probably going to get a whole lot of this. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's a little bit too much. Oh, you want to, verbally disagree with me? I'll kick your butt. This is literally like high school drama, high school nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6'5". I got to avoid most of that stuff in high school. There's always somebody who wants to, try and take down somebody bigger, But for the most part, like this is high school. Some smart kid or whatever says something, and the big dumb kid comes up and says, oh, you think you're so smart? What if I punch you in your face? Then how smart are you going to be? I'll still be just as smart. You'll just prove how much further, an idiot you are, And this is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. At this point, they're reduced to bullies. I get it, like it's a high stress situation. They could at least push that a little bit more, like let us know that they're self-aware of that in the TV series. But right now, all I'm seeing is just a bunch of bullies. You know what I'm saying? They come from the past, and right away, I don't care about your situation. Daisy's like the worst of them. She's the worst of them. That dude, what the heck is that dude's name? Actually, him I wrote down. Geek. Geek, freaking this guy, like he's sitting there explaining to her, listen, man. All right, listen. If you go forward and do what you're about to do, you're going to wind up getting everybody killed. That's what's going to happen. You're going to get all of these people on this ship. You're going to get more of this, life for a life. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get so many people killed if you do this. We're going to have to suffer for what you do. She doesn't want to listen. She wants to quake him and throw him against a wall and whatnot. Dude, come on. Come on. Like, really? You're going to be that belligerent? This was, the previous episode. So in this episode, she's suffering the consequences of that because he goes and tells, because let's be realistic, who was really saving more lives here? If Quake was allowed to continue doing what she's doing, she had zero plan, zero, zilch, nada, nothing, big fat goose egg. What exactly was going to happen? If you do not plan, then you plan to fail. And like everybody knows this, So it was kind of silly that she just walks forward like that. I'm just going to, I'm going to keep walking and something can happen and I'll figure it out. Okay, well, they figured out you were there. A security system, a simple camera that you didn't see because this is the future after all. Doesn't mean there could be a piece of wall that looks like, just a wall, but actually there's a camera in there, a nano camera. How do you know? It's the future. How many years in the future, how many decades, how many centuries in the future is this? You don't know. You don't know what kind of tech they've got. And plus they're Kree, they're aliens. You don't know what kind of tech they got. So they could have seen her coming even if that dude didn't let her know. The Deke thing was just a matter of convenience. They could have found out through some other security measure that she was walking down there. And what happens? What happens? They find her, gas her out, and she's done. Done. So, I mean, let's be realistic. You got a freaking gas chamber thing there, not that kind of gas chamber, but you got a little, security measure down there. That's all they got? They got the security measure, but no security camera? So it was all a matter of convenience right there. But like when you don't have a plan, when you move forward without a plan, your plan is to fail. So she was bound to fail regardless. Now, why did some people might say, well, why didn't Deke go and explain to them, the rest of the Shield agents, why this happened? Because he probably didn't want to get punched in the face. And he got punched in the face a lot. And he even addressed that. He was very aware of what was happening. Dude wound up getting stabbed. May wind up getting caught. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're gonna sit there and start punching people in the face. Meanwhile, you didn't even ask the guy the question. Oh, you lied about such and such and such. What's going on? Give the guy a chance to explain. He was afraid. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know you. I wouldn't tell him the truth. It's like, listen, one of your people was trying to do such and such and such. Just imagine, there's a completely different group of people. One of your people was trying to do such and such and such. So I allowed her to get captured by the bad guys because it was better than her, potentially going and doing something that was going to get a whole bunch of us killed. You saw they threw that shotgun down, and 3 people had to pay for what happened. We don't want to see that happen. It might be me who gets killed. It might be my friend. It might be my family. As it stands, Deke's father is down on that planet. So here it is. Deke's got all this crazy stuff. There's that rhodium, whatever that metal is that he got. He gives his payment away to the dude. He sits there and says, like, that's my father on that planet. He's sitting there trying to explain what he can, and still he's not trusted. Give a little trust. Maybe you'll get a little trust. I mean, let's be realistic. All of it, dude. All of it. It's a little bit of a mess here. I'm making a mistake. I'm enjoying the hell out of the show, but there's just some aspects of it where it's like if people would stop and actually think and talk. I don't know. Maybe I'm just some high intellectual, and I should have a cummerbund. And cummerbund goes down here. What is it? The frilly lapel and all that stuff. Like no, just I'm not interested in characters who are all lantern-jawed, stone-nosed, and just, moving forward, going to bust people in the face. No, I'd like there to be some thinking characters on there. And right now, your only thinking character, Gemma, is stuck with this ear thing. It's liquid metal in her ear. So we finally get to see May versus Sinara, and Sinara wipes the floor with May. I mean, yeah, she had the bum leg. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, she also had that gaffy stick, whatever. I'm thinking of the Tusken Raiders. She had that glaive, that she had. So I'm going to say that was pretty even. That was a pretty even match as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, Sinara had the 2 balls and whatnot, whatever. It's probably her ex-boyfriend's. But just saying, I'm pointing out. But nonetheless, Sinara won that fight. She won that fight. You know what I'm saying? She kicked May's butt. Maybe later they'll have something where suddenly May will be able to kick her butt backwards. Whatever. In the meantime, that was a pretty awesome fight. And Sinara, like, she's Kree, so she's at least 3 times stronger than a human, maybe 4 times stronger than your average human. And so it's just one of those things where it's like all the skill in the world, sometimes another guy is just so big that all the skill that you've got, it's just, you can have a skinny little guy trained by an MMA master, you know what I'm saying? Trained by like Brock Lesnar, okay? Take a little skinny guy who's like 5'4", 5'5", all right? Weighs like $120, and have him trained for 5 years by Brock Lesnar. Is this dude going to be able to beat Brock Lesnar? Is this guy going to be... No, because he doesn't have the size of Brock Lesnar. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where it's like size does matter. I know it's cute that like I studied the martial arts since I was 8 years old. That helps my size, but size is... I'm not saying it's always going to trump skill, but come on, man. Come on. So that was just, she could have tried to run. She could have tried to just get out of there before, Sinara would have tried to look around and see what's going on. No, she decided to stay and fight. She thought that she was going to win. Phil tried to talk reason into her, but try talking reason into, to a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. What's going to happen? I'm surprised she didn't punch Phil in the face, to be honest with you. I guess the benefits of being on the punch you in the face team. So what else happened in here? Yeah, seeing the babies actually being bred was kind of weird. The last part that was really on here is Fitz. Fitz shows up. We actually get to see Fitz. So what happens? They're like, we got, Quake, the Destroyer of Worlds, amongst all these other people. And that one, Cassius, the main Kree dude with the other girl, she's all uppity. She doesn't want to have dinner with him, or anybody else. It's like, yeah, I guess you're out of the running because you don't like to have dinner with anybody, So, have fun with your private dinner. I can't blame him. I can't blame him for getting her back. It's like, you want to treat him like he's scum. Well, guess what? That's the thing. You never know. When you treat somebody like scum, you never know what's going to happen later. You know what I'm saying? You never know if all of a sudden you might need this person's help or a favor or something. And if she was cool with this guy, he was always trying to get in her favor. If she would have just, even just treat him like a lapdog, but at least, be cool, he might have been like, still trying to curry her favor, but he knows he's finally got one thing that she wants. One thing. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? So she's asking for a deal? A deal? Because that's what happened here. She asked for a deal. Why do I want a deal? I want to put up to the highest bidder. I want to make a lot of money off of this. Yeah, but if you give me a deal, then what? You'll have the only thing that you've ever wanted from me. I'm never going to get another Quake Destroyer of the World, so there's that. Yeah, I wouldn't have given her the discount either. Nothing like that. Like, screw you. Shut up. She got everything. She didn't get enough of what she deserved, but everything she got, she deserved and more. So, whatever, man. Suck it. But at the end, they're having the big thing, the big little soiree, excuse me. And that one dude comes walking. He looks like Zorn from the X-Men, Like this Zorn dude comes walking in, and he's got the voice and everything. I was like, oh my God, it's Zorn. But Marvel we didn't know that Fox had already been sold to Marvel at this time. There's no way they could have known that, That would have been awesome. If that deal was done and they knew and they just put Zorn in there, I'd be like, oh, what's the X-Men? I'm a dork that way, though. I have a comic book channel. Face it. So I think that it was cool that the dude comes walking in, but then he pulls off the mask and suddenly it's Fitz. Now, I'm sure that everybody's staying to watch, what's going to happen next week. So next week, I don't think we're going to be in space at all. I think we're back on Earth. We're obviously back on Earth, but they're going to be back on Earth for the entire episode. And it's just going to be Fitz's story. What happened to Fitz? He wakes up, and everybody's gone from the diner because he wasn't on the list. And he's going to go and meet up somehow. Excuse me. He's smart. So somehow he's going to think of a way and figure it out. And he's going to meet up with that creepy freaking alien dude, with playing the cars from episode 1. This season, episode 1, where he's got the cars playing in the background. I love that song. Love that song. Cars is awesome. But they're, what do you call it? The dude, he took off his skin and all that stuff. It's like, oh my God, he's a freak. So, it'd be cool if Fitz actually figured out what this guy was, but we might wind up finding out in the second. I don't think we're going to actually have a second half of the season. That's the thing. I think we're going to have should be 22 episodes, if I'm thinking correctly. 23, I think 22 though. But they said that because Inhumans came out immediately before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that we're not going to have that mid-season break. So, yay. Especially since season 4 was split up into 3, not 2. Was split up into 3 parts. That was horrible. That was terrible. It really felt like multiple seasons. But here, we're going to have Fitz come in, and he's like, she should fight to the death. It's like, dude, what did he learn that he's saying have her fight to the death? And realistically, I don't think that he's actually going to be evil in this. You know why? Because we can't have evil Fitz in 2 different seasons like that. He's going to go the way of Brett Ward, from the earlier seasons. Like, once you're bad, you're done. I don't know how. It was hard to see this dude recover from his stint in the framework. If he goes evil in this one, it's like, nope, dude, you're done. You're done. We got a new bad guy. For the rest of the season. It's going to be Fitz, clearly. So I don't know. But then again, he might be like, I'm sick and tired of these guys always punching each other. Maybe these guys do need to go down. He's probably the most self-aware out of everybody. Anyway, this was a really great episode. I love seeing everything that happened in here. I'm going to have to make an Explained in a Minute for Fitz. Guys, if you want an Explained in a Minute for Explained in the Minute is one of the things that I do on my comic book channel. I will talk about the comic book origins of a character that you will see in the TV shows and the movies, whatever. So I took Daisy Johnson for one, and I explained her, and I did it. I think it was a little bit longer than a minute, but whatever, you know. So nobody wants to sit here for 20 minutes, and literally that's what you see on a lot of other comic book channels. They'll go into a 20-minute explanation, no exaggeration, about a character. I just don't feel like you need that much. You know what I'm saying? If you do, those are the channels to go to. But I make it within approximately a minute, maybe a minute and a half, and I will explain the heck out of a character's comic book origins. You get a good sense of what they can do in the comic books, where they first started off, the creators, and all that stuff. So I did Daisy Johnson, explained in a minute, and all of the major Royal Inhuman family. I did most of the Thor characters. I didn't do Thor himself because Thor's pretty obvious. But the background characters who you might not be familiar with, you might not have ever even heard of before, I'll explain them, and usually in about a minute. So yeah, it's one of the things I do there besides comic book reviews. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks for showing up. Talk to you later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.